Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Marcus Aurelius, and this is No Man's Sky. And I was just flying around playing. I wasn't planning on recording, but when I got to this planet, I figured I absolutely had to start recording. This planet has no fauna. But that's not what's interesting about it. What's interesting about it is that it has vortex cubes just lying around everywhere, and the Sentinels do not care if you pick them up. So, it is in the system Marcus Aurelius LP YouTube Gaming. Now, okay, that's a little cheap. It's kind of some self-promotion, but there are 15 whatever quintillion planets. I highly doubt that someone's going to get here without it being on purpose. I wish I could actually tell you how to get here, though, because this planet, MALP Primaris, is fantastic. Vortex cubes for days. And it's beautiful. The grass is beautiful. I really like the overall color scheme. This is a fantastic world. But we are going to go vortex cube hunting. They're not everywhere, but when you find them in certain places, they are all over the place in those places. I think over here in this grove of trees is where I found them, and also in the cave systems. They seem to be all over the cave systems. The sad thing is you can't just do a sea search for them. They won't show up. Here we go. I think this is the place. I think this is Vortex Cube Central. Let's take a look here. And of course, now that I am recording, they elude me. But trust me, I've already got 3 full backpacks of them and sold them. So, I know they're there. Maybe I've just completely denuded this area. Maybe it's in this copse of trees over here. Let's just look around. Gosh, what a beautiful world, though. Well, this is kind of embarrassing, but they are here. I will find them. Of that, I have no concerns. I left a couple, actually, on purpose, thinking I could easily come back to them, but obviously I got a little turned about. But they are really close to the base here. So, in one of these copses of trees. And also in the cave system up there. Tons of them up there. There might be some kind of algorithm that determines what particular biome on the planet they show up in. Let's see here. It was in a copse of trees, but there wasn't any grass. Normally I'd beeline over to that knowledge stone, but I want to find these vortex cubes. No. Bunch of plutonium. There they are. Okay, there's a vortex cube. And look, I picked it up, No sentinels. No one cares at all. Let's see if we can find some more here. There's another one. There's a few, actually. Okay. Boom. Boom. That one. Those two disappeared. I think I already picked them up. That's funny how the game thinks they're still there, but then when I get closer, the game realizes that they aren't. Yeah. What's the deal with the disappearing vortex cubes? So I think I've completely taken them all away from this particular area. But I'm sure that this planet's huge. It's the largest planet in the system. I have yet to explore any of the other planets in the system. So I'm sure there are many vortex cube hideouts. Like here. 1, 2, and these are worth like 13,000 a pop. 24,000, almost 25,000 a pop. So I'm just going to stay on this world for a long time. I'm going to take every single vortex cube, and I'm going to make so much money that I could probably buy the best ship in the game. So if you ever, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to share to you where in the universe this world is. But if you ever see a system called Marcus Aurelius LP YouTube Gaming, vortex cubes. I wish I hadn't named the planet, actually, right when I landed. I wish I would have just waited, and then I could have named it, like, vortex cubes for days. Or vortex cubes for free, sentinels don't care. Vortex cubes, no sentinels. But they, yeah, so usually you find them in these kind of underground or cave biomes here. There's another one. It's just the greatest thing. And it's just icing on the cake that this world is just amazing looking. The caves are beautiful. The sky is beautiful. The foliage kind of glows. It's just this greens and reds. I mean, the grass. I love the grass. So if I was going to name a system after myself, this planet really does it solid. Also, while I've got you on here, instead of just me going on and on about this planet, let me tell you something else that I learned. A way to make a great amount of money if you don't have vortex cube planets. And what that is lemium. Now, you have to find this. You have to by talking to people and by looking at downed ships and other types of things where you gain new chemistry techniques, I guess. I don't know. But it's a combination of... it takes a lot of titanium and a lot of plutonium. But plutonium is one of the most common minerals in almost every planet of the game. And this thing is worth 31,000 units. And it takes up maybe about, let's see, 100 plutonium is worth... what's 100 plutonium worth? It's worth about 10,000. Or that's 250 plutonium is worth 10,000. So 200 plus 100 titanium, obviously you're making a huge profit. Now, so you might ask, okay, Marcus, plutonium is everywhere. It's ubiquitous. But what about titanium? Titanium is actually quite rare. Now, some planets, like the one I was on when I discovered this tip, they have huge yellow crystals of titanium that you can just find by clicking C, and whenever you see the little yellow one with the bar, see if you can find, there's one right there, that is probably zinc. But if you see like 2 or 3 of them together, that is an indication that you are near titanium. But it's still pretty rare. So you might then ask, all right, well, this planet doesn't have that. Tons of plutonium, but no titanium. So where do I get titanium? Well, you're going to have to grow a couple balls, but here's how you get titanium. There you go. By destroying a sentinel. Now, in the debris, you sometimes can find neutrino modules, which are also worth good money, but they also, every time you kill them, they drop titanium. Okay, where's your buddy? There he is. Now, when you kill one, on most planets, I don't know if this will work on a Sentinel High planet. See, I got a neutrino module. But when you kill one, another one will come to try to rescue it or attack you. And you have to kill it rather quickly. But if you do that, then you've got a ton of titanium and a neutrino module, hopefully, from one of them. So then you just go and you get a ton of plutonium. And I don't personally have any inventory space right now. But when you do, you create the lemium. And lemium's worth a ton. So I was able to, on that planet, create like 15, 20 at a time. And then I would go and sell them, make a ton of money, and then go back and farm more plutonium, kill more sentinels, or the crystals that I got the titanium from. Oh, another vortex cube. But I'm on empty here. What can I get rid of? Zinc. Oop. Alright, so we're full up here. Where was that? Where was that? There it is. The one I hadn't turned on yet. So that's another tip. If you ever find the instructions for how to build lemium, pretty much any planet you can do this on. Just, I mean, hopefully find a huge bunch of plutonium somewhere, farm as much of it as you can, and then kill a bunch of sentinels. And if you want sentinels to come get you, another good way of doing that is to mine plutonium, because when you mine stuff, it causes them to come check you out. So, I mean, I recommend doing it on a planet where sentinels are weak, or like this planet here where they are, what's it say here? Limited. That's probably the way to go with that. And have at. So just keep killing sentinels and you'll get neutrino modules and titanium, which you can sell. And then get some plutonium, mix them together, and you're making a lot of money. So now that's, what is it now? 3 or 4 ways that I've taught you how to make money. You can find gold or emerald spires and just go to town on them. It's slow, but it works. You can find a planet that has something on the ground that's valuable, like the pearls or the balls, what are they called? Neutrino balls or the vortex cubes. And if you're lucky to find a world like this where you don't get in trouble for taking them, so much the better. And the third way is now you can create lemium if you know how to do it. Now, I saw another person on YouTube who had their own way too. It's much slower, a bit more tedious, but in the early parts of the game, when you're a little bit weaker, it's one of the first things you could build, so it's worth it. And that is bypass chips. They require only plutonium and iron, which are probably the 2 most abundant resources in the galaxy. And it only takes 10 of each, which is worth nothing by itself, but it turns into a chip worth 3,500. Now, 3,500 isn't that much, but if you're just starting off in the game, that's a good amount of money. So that's a good way to get yourself your first million. And then from there, you can do whatever you want, I guess. Let's fly around. And the cool thing about the lemium tip is that you're going to need tons of plutonium anyway to power your ship. So you're not going out of your way. You're getting something that you're going to need anyway. Now, what does make me nervous about this planet is it's mostly covered with water. So finding the cave systems might be a little bit harder, but there are no animals on this planet, so I don't have to worry about like trying to go underwater and scan the fish or anything. And heck, there might be vortex cubes underwater. Who knows? Alright, let's take a look here. Man, I love the grass on this world. Alright. Okay, let's see if we're lucky here. And there's any vortex cube. Yep. I see one already. Boom. So that's what I'm going to do, folks, for the next few hours. I'm not going to record it, but I'm going to run around to every cave I could find. And I'm going to find vortex cubes. Here's a bunch of them. 1, 2, 3. They're right next to each other. How convenient. 4. Might as well get some aluminum while I'm here. And, oh, look, more vortex cubes. So yeah, folks, get to the Marcus Aurelius LP YouTube gaming system. Go to MALP Primaris and have a field day. Get as many vortex cubes as you can carry. Now, from what I understand, resources do not carry through game to game. So what that means is I can take every single vortex cube out of this planet, but when you land on it, if you should ever find it, it will be your planet, so all of them will be back. Like, resources that one player takes do not subtract from the resources of another player. This is awesome. Just making money. Hand over fist, as they say. And again, tons of plutonium here, so if you wanted to do the Lemium trick, this would be a good planet to do it, although you don't really need to because vortex cubes are a quicker and more efficient way of making the money. In fact, I have way too much plutonium, so I'm going to recharge everything. Well, not much needs recharging, but I'm going to get rid of some of the plutonium. We don't have much titanium anyway, so let's just get rid of it. Get rid of it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that still leaves us with more plutonium than we'll ever need. But that'll allow us to carry more vortex cubes. Let's see, I have only one thing of aluminum, so I'll let that get filled up. Then I won't make any more. Saving the room for the vortex cubes. Oh, maybe we ran out of them. Hello? Oh, there's one. So you just gotta have to be a little bit perceptive. And you're going to have more money than you're going to know what to do with. Which is a good time. Aluminum. Oh, there's another one. Another 2, actually. A bunch. Alright. And my inventory is full, so I'm going to head back to the ship, and I'm going to go sell my ill-gotten goods. Now, if I really wanted to make money fast, I'd empty my inventory out of everything. Literally everything. And just focus on vortex cubes. But it'd only get me, like, maybe 5 more. I guess I can get rid of this carbon. What else is new? Is there anything that you haven't seen yet? I have all 3 jetpack boosters. I did end up getting the warp reactor Sigma. So now I have the warp reactor Tau. This might be the one actually that I built. I might have had the Sigma already. So now I have Tau and Sigma, which means that's 2 of the 3. So I should be able to go to most planets in the game. And I also now have the Pulse Jet Tau and the Pulse Jet Sigma. So my Pulse is really good too. But again, the ship is only 25 slots, although I found that for 20 million, you can get a 33 slot ship, and I have almost 16 million. I'm sure this planet will get me over the edge. So I'll be able to upgrade to a nice ship. Now I'm just going to buy ships. I told you in the last episode that I'm not a fan of repairing, simply because it's a huge hassle. Now, if they change the game so that you could potentially find a ship that's substantially better than yours, that maybe has 5 or so extra slots, then it might be worth it. But when every ship you find only has 1 more or 1 less slot than the ship you currently have, it just is so much work to repair and rebuild everything that it's just, in my case, I find it not to be worth it. Farming units is still, slow work, but it's not as slow. Alright. Let's see if we can't find that outpost we were just at. That's a crashed ship. Sometimes the game remembers places that you've been, helpfully, and sometimes it doesn't. Like, it looks like in this case it decided not to remember where that outpost was. What type of metal is that? So that's a bummer. But here's an outpost. It might not be the same one. It might be the exact same one. Yeah, it looks like this is the exact same one. I'm really kind of bummed out the game doesn't remember it. It does remember trade depots. But this is good enough. Boom. So this is my home base. This is the Marcus Aurelius LP system and the primary planet of that system. I wish the game would let you build like a base, but then you're trying to get to the center of the universe, right? So why would you build a base 17,000 light years or whatever from the center of the universe? I understand that. All right, let's get some aluminum sold. And vortex cubes. 500,000 almost. Boom. Now we're up to 16.2. So if I just do this maybe 4 or 5 more times, I'll have 20 million, and I'll be able to buy the ship of my dreams. Well, maybe not the ship of my dreams, but a ship that is substantially closer to the ship of my dreams than the one I currently have. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am Marcus Aurelius. I'd like to thank you very much for watching. I hope that someday in your travels through the universe that you stumble upon the Marcus Aurelius LP YouTube gaming system so that you can have an all-you-can-eat buffet of vortex cubes. Have a good one.